if you have not set it up previously, Web3Auth will have this Farcaster login. And if you have a Warpcast client or a Farcaster client, for me, right now I'm doing the scan using my mobile camera. It opens a client or an app, which is Warpcast. And once you approve that, which is behind the scene, is basically sign in with Ethereum. They're calling it sign in with Farcaster. And you just are logged in using your Farcaster detail, right? So this is a new demo app. You get your Ethereum address, you get your details, which most of it comes from Farcaster. I have a Warpcast account, the Farcaster account, which is through a Warpcast client. But let's talk about what you see in this demo. So there is a new feature coming up, which is allowing people to enable MFA once they are logged in. You must have seen the MFA screens while you are setting up the login processes before, but this will enable you to call the MFA once the user is already logged in, provided that they have not enabled the MFA previously. So when you click on it, it basically allow you to basically log in again and set up the MFA factor, which would be similar to what you have been seeing previously. So in this case, I have to do the login again using Farcaster, and just clicking on signing, it will continue that authorization for that, and then I'll continue setting up my account like the similar flow what you have seen. Let's go back to the demo app again. Then there are a couple of other cool features, which is our wallet services UI, which you get a pre-built UI for your wallet to send and receive funds, and you can just integrate this on your app. Then there are things like on-ramp provider, which allows you to fund your wallet just with a click of this button, and select the token which you want to do, and it supports multiple. So right now it's showing me my the nearest what I would do in terms of the payment provider. The easiest would be for me is IMPS. Then there is another cool feature, which is of Wallet Connect, and connecting it through, which is like a similar Wallet Connect QR code flow. If you go to, I think Uniswap would be the easier one, launch app, and you will be able to use the same account. I think I'm already logged in, connect it with Wallet Connect. Okay, let's try again. Copy this, come back, paste the link, and you will be connected with the same account on this website. So this is handy in when you wanted to use the interoperability flow, where you would the account created using the Web3Auth modal Web3Auth SDKs can be used with other dApps which supports Wallet Connect. So this is more of things coming in with our V8 release. I'll show there's an open PR already which has gone through multiple testing. If you wanted to test out, it's still in alpha phase, but you can try it out from NPM using the alpha builds. Yeah, so this was the quick rundown of the demo app. What you can see is more of like the Wallet Connect UI, on-ramp providers to fund your wallets, and interoperability flow using Wallet Connect. Next up is, so if you've seen this allows you to use, Warpcast or Warpcast as a client to log in. So there is something called Farcaster client. Tin, you want to jump on that? Just a quick intro what it does, and then I'll showcase like how this can be done. So behind the scene, this is using Warpcast, login to log in to this particular demo app.
I
Yeah.
actually have a question about the Farcaster sign in.
Mhm.
What is the main advantage of adding a Farcaster sign in? Is it to appeal to a more Web3 audience, like for example, they want a more decentralized option for logging in. Yeah. So what's the main advantage of adding Farcaster as a sign-in?
So if you see this modal, yeah, thanks for that question. So this is mainly if you have a Warpcast, account already created using clients like Warpcast, right? So if you wanted to use the same account, so behind the scene it gives you a Ethereum wallet. So the idea being here is that you can bring that Ethereum wallet login to Web3 Auth and use the same login and account using Farcaster client. So I think with this particular login, uh, with there are two accounts with Farcaster. One is what you create with Farcaster, and it lives there. The second is would be used to do the signing. So I think this is more of like once you log in, Web3 Auth will give you address where you can add funds and interact with. So it would be more of a signer. So I'll give you a quick demo of another thing where you can integrate Web3 Auth login as their first factors. Right now, I'm using the Farcaster is creating the Ethereum account. The other would be to use Web3 Auth's SDK to do that. So this is a demo built by basically Farcaster team, and they were using login with I think ConnectKit or WAGMI. I have just added that, replaced that section with login with Web3 Auth. So if you do the login again, it would have the similar flow. Like the added advantage is that you don't have to know and worry about how the account is being created. You just use your social login. So for me, I'm using Google login here, which basically created a account for me. As you can see that this is the Ethereum address I get from Web3. So what it does, I'll just quickly explain, but I think Farcaster team has done great justice in explaining all these in their documentation. If you wish to read more, you basically read from there. So if you do a Farcaster, a creation of the Farcaster account, the easiest would be to do it through the Warpcast. If you don't want to, understand like what's happening behind the scene, you just pay them $5 for a year. So that's not for the service, I would say. It's mainly for the rent, what you are going to get to store all of those details and casts and likes and all those details. Here, if you choose to do it this way, the account created is through Web3 Auth, and you have your social login to control that. You can put a recovery account just to do that, so that you can use this for recovery. And once you do this, all these transaction will happen through your wallet created. So in this case, wallet created by Web3 Auth, you will have to have some OP mainnet, basically Ethereum funds to register account and then rent a space. Renting a space is roughly around $4 to $5, which is, I think $3 to $5, I would say. And then you would have to create a signer, which will be used to create new messages or cast messages on Farcaster. And then this is optional, which is of like your fname. Fname is basically your username on Farcaster. So I think mine is Shabazz, and similarly Web3 Auth for Web3 Auth, you get a temporarily username. Because I say temporarily because if you use these names, this would be temporarily, unless if you use your ENS domain, ENS addresses like sabas.ens or ETH. But this can be replaced for different use cases. So all these details, and then you start using this. I think uh, for just to try it out, basic ones, just try it out. Maybe I'll switch this to a testnet so anyone can try out this example. This is on mainnet right now, so don't try it out. Some of the flows might fail because it's relying on something, someone else's server. So yeah, this is how the other part is of basically building a Farcaster client, which allows you to create an account, rent a storage, add a signer, all these details, and publish the cast. Even if you do this flow, and if everything goes well, you will be able to cast your messages to Farcaster, and all the things can be shown on all the other Farcaster clients. So this is more of the two, I would say, the approaches what people are building, either through allowing the existing Farcaster login, which is what the modal supports, and the other one is would be to build a client with Farcaster,
I,
for
I
Farcaster basically.
I think it's one of the cooler things you can do with Farcaster. Like for example, you can build your own client because not everyone is aware that you can actually do create your own warpcast if you wanted to. And
Yeah,
there are a lot of possibilities for that. And I think Web3 Auth can is positioned to make the login experience easier for Farcaster clients, like what Shabazz has demoed. Because personally, I have difficulty re-logging in with Warpcast. They require you to enter your private, is it a private key or seed phrase? So yeah, it's just difficult to re-log into Warpcast if you're using another device. And I think this will help the next client builders to make the login experience easier for Farcaster users. So
yeah, true, definitely. I think that's where the Web3 auth comes in, right? Simplifying the login for Web3 audience, right? So nobody has to worry about the seed phrases, how that things is managing. All things, is abstracted away from users, and they get very easy and intuitive social logins to log in with. And even if it's not just for the social logins and those Web2 users who want to use the native experience like Web2 to have the Web3 experiences. But if you have your wallet, you can still use your wallet using the same, modal using connect with wallets feature. Okay, and moving on, I think this call is supposed to have a Web3 auth features, but we are talking more of Farcaster because we believe that, like, Farcaster is a cool new thing in the Web3 space, making more of like a decentralized messaging protocol. And so if you want to try it out, this particular Farcaster login on the modal, try it out with the V8 alpha version. I think it's alpha 19. This is the PR, which you can see the progress, how we have been, testing out and releasing a few updates. Next thing about again related to Farcaster is of frames, which allows you to build using Open Graph Open Graph metadata to build cooler features just using OG graphs. I think I'll just quickly showcase a couple of things. One is the poll, which you can do and interact with. So when sharing on social medias previously on Twitters and things, it just takes out the OG tags or the meta tags of your page and displays everything here. With Farcaster frames, you get the advantage of making it more of an interactive app. There are cool features what you can build, like polls, and there are like what all things we can build, Tim, if you want to add quick notes.
yeah, I've seen a lot of cool frames lately. There are casts that allows you to play a game
Mhm.
inside the app. Uh, it's just in the frames. And there's another one where you could do a betting game. Uh,
Ah,
and and
wow.
then I think Shopify is already exploring frames. Like they have this beta version, I think, that allows they allow Shopify stores to create their own frames so that they can sell directly inside Farcaster. And I think that those were just one of the early utilities of frames. We're going to see more. And what do you think? Is it easy for existing dApps to turn themselves into frames? Is it something that we can explore as Web3 auth?
Yeah, I think there there are there are more possibilities people are trying out. One is, I think, this mint feature, right? Minting an NFT just through this, OG graphs and your apps. And in terms of, existing dApps to convert into Farcaster frames, I think, yes, people are trying out. This would be a cool feature. I think you also wrote about this frames, right? and what people can build in one of our blogs. If you see somewhere here, which talks more in detail about building a client, frames, and more about Farcaster, do give a quick read on like what's happening behind the scene, how people are building. I think what she was talking about is of checkouts like these is just a frame. Similarly, games like these, and we're also doing like polls, basically, right? And more of things I've seen that like they allow minting the NFTs, which is basically like this, and they're like this. So
Yeah, I think it's cool that you can allow smart contract interaction inside the post, and that's one of the things that we're looking forward to. And yeah, what do you think? I think Shabazz has been exploring building frames as well, and yeah,
yeah, couple of more of like games and quizzes and puzzles, like for an interactive way. There are one easier way I'm thinking of is one cool thing is would be all of our documentation links or any of our links on our what you see, even the community post ones, would be turned into frames which where people can read more about it, add feedbacks and things like that. So yeah, watch out for more of the things what we might experiment with Farcaster and frames. So yeah, and uh, if people joining in today have seen Farcaster, know about it, would love to hear more about from you after once we go about the V8 release, and then we'll take some of the questions from the community highlights, and if anyone in this call has any queries, we'll address those as well. But yeah, so this was more of like the Farcaster things what we are building up, and there are other cool features which are coming um, with V8 releases. So V8 version, I think the web version V8, and that would be basically transferred to all of our mobile and gaming SDKs as well. So
Brian has a question for us. He's asking, are there plans to support other chains beside Ethereum?
okay, so is it in general? I would say yes, we are chain agnostic, but specifically for some other like let's say a Farcaster. I think Farcaster is on Ethereum itself, but in general, Web3 Auth is chain agnostic. You can integrate with any chain. We do have uh, Connect blockchain section, which talks in detail about all the EVM chains. How would you integrate Solana, XRPL? And if these are not like basically comes under these categories, you can see of the other chains, like for example, Near, Polkadot, how we are doing it. So read through about these. And if you feel that some of the chains which are not under directly comes under EVM and Solana, you can basically put a feature request in the community under community section, which you can ask for suggested contents and more of the details if you want to request. But mostly the things will be very straightforward, even if it's not under EVM. EVMs are like very straightforward. Let's say you just change the chain config and then you're good to go, right? Changing the chain ID and the details for the chain config, and then you're good to go with all the EVM and especially uh, all those curves which comes under SCCP 256 K1 curves, and as well as for Solana like AD 25519. And if things are different, then you just follow one of our uh, guides in terms of like Near and Polkadot. The flow would be similar, where you would have to interact with their SDKs, and Web3 Auth will give you the private key and convert it how they wanted it to in their format, and then just use their SDKs to connect and uh, call their functions, basically, like getting the details, balance, and send transactions.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think you can head to our documents if there is a particular chain that you're interested to integrate in, then we can give you the link. And if it's not in the documentation, you can always contact us in the community and write a feature request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing we wanted to highlight more of is that the upcoming V8 release, it's just that it has not been released yet. It was scheduled to be released yesterday, but with some final testing we wanted to do, we have delayed it, but expect this to be out very soon. And then you can try it out, all these new features what you have seen in the demo app. And if you want to try out the demo app, feel free to do this, just visiting demo.web3.io. Okay, heading to the community section where, so do we have DevRails and Vijay from the community? If you want to talk and bring some attention to any of the posts which you think we should address, or any people joining in, if you have any queries, this is time to ask, and our team will basically help you resolve and see where we can help. Yeah.
I'll just talk about one of the most asked questions right now, which I see around WAGMI connector. So people are saying that WAGMI connector is not compatible with V2. We are aware about that, and we have updated our WAGMI connector with the version V8 release of Web3Auth. We'll be also releasing the V2 compatible version of the WAGMI connector, and you can easily use that. So that is one of the things I wanted to point out. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Yash, for bringing that. Yeah. So if you are looking for WAGMI connector with Web3Auth, just wait for those releases to happen, and then you will be able to use it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If no further questions from the audience, then yeah, what should we do now? Tin.
I have one. I have one. If you're on Farcaster, please follow us on Web3Auth. We'll have a lot of more exciting announcements in store, and you'd be first to know if you're on Farcaster. So yeah, we'd love to have you there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please do. This will be the link.
just
If you're
follow
on
us
Farcaster.
on Web3Auth. Generally interact with us. If you have questions, just let us know.